This is Virtual's Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. Today I'm going to show you a couple of games of the von Hennig Gambit. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's a response against a Caro-Kann defense. And the Caro-Kann is one of the best defenses that black has against 1e4. So I've got white pieces in this game, and I'm going to show you first the famous 8-move checkmate trap line. So e4, Caro-Kann, c6. And of course, we take the full center. They now play d5, knight to c3 to defend that pawn. They take. And here, rather than sort of entering the main line and capturing back, which is the best move, we now play the very sneaky von Hennig Gambit. We forego capturing this pawn. We give up that pawn. Stockfish calls this inaccuracy, a mistake, and in fact it's about where are we? It's about it's about minus 0.6. So in fact we've lost a point of material, which is basically the pawn. However, this move is one of the best responses against the Caro-Kann. When we look at the Lichess community database of blitz and rapid games, this line has one of the highest win ratios. And the interesting thing is, not just at beginner intermediate, it goes all the way up to advanced players as well. Now, the trap line goes, we've given up this pawn, so black will naturally develop their knight, defend, that is their best move. We now challenge that pawn, and it looks like there's a bit of a problem because we might be able to take, or if they push, we take in this way. So very often they will capture, which again, I think it's their best move. We take back. Now here, black will of course want to develop. And one of the things with the Caro-Kann is that the pawn on c6 does sort of block into sort of the natural developing square of the knight. This bishop can't yet develop yet. And so not uncommonly, in fact, not the most common moves, in fact, black will try to pin our knight against our queen. But as you can see, that's a blunder. They should have developed the bishop to f5. And here we've got a number of possible moves. If you look at Stockfish, the sensible move, the adult move, the grown-up move is bishop captures the pawn on f7 with check. It's a brilliant move. They capture back with the king. Now we get forward movement of the knight with check, and after, let's say, the king moves back, we take back with an attack on their knight. Often they will captures, and we're doing really, really well in this position. So that's sort of the sensible sort of move, to immediately take with the bishop. That is the best move. According to Stockfish anyway, the best move according to me, and also according to the Lichess community database, is the oh no my queen line, which is knight forward immediately, hanging our queen. What's going on there, you might ask? Well, in this game, as you can see, this was a 15 minute with 10-second increment game. Pretty much I'm blitzing out the moves. Here, it looks like I just hung my queen. It's a trap! And so my opponent takes the queen, blunder, because the bishop can now capture the f7 pawn, and that's mate. Check, defended, and the king cannot escape to d7. So it's a brilliant move. And the interesting thing here is this move isn't even that bad. So sometimes black will go, oh, wait a minute, can't take that queen. So they'll move the bishop here. Well, we can still take. And if they do that, well, that is still mate. So the best move here for black, in fact, our queen is perfectly safe, is to retreat their bishop to e6, and then we takes. They've got these awkwardly, doubled pawns on the e-file, and then we short castles. And in this position, again, we're doing really well. So that is the von Hennig Gambit, particularly the trap line. So here, forward, oh no, my queen, and if they take the queen, mate. So I won that with mate, 8 move checkmate in the first game, and look, you know, almost 16 minutes at the end of the game, so I sort of won with minus 56 seconds used up. Let's now look at the second game of Von Hennig Gambit, just to show that it works really well even when we don't play, when we don't enter that trap line. So again, Von Hennig, e4, c6, d4, d5, develop the knight, captures, and now Von Hennig, bishop to c4. So they develop the knight, very normal. We, asked a question about the pawn on e4, captures, and here, rather than, developing their bishop, which we know now is a blunder, they push e6. Now, this again is a fairly common move because the player with the black will see that their f pawn is a bit exposed, and by pushing the pawn to e6, it basically negates attack against the f7 pawn. However, consider this knight is, hemmed in. This bishop is hemmed in. And so one of the things we take advantage of with the Von Hennig Gambit is we get rapid development. See, we're almost ready to castle, while black's development is often quite constrained. Here, short castles. They develop their bishop. Very sort of natural looking move, but you can see that was an inaccuracy. And in fact, here it's plus 0.4. Consider I'm down a point of material. So plus 0.4 means my position is substantially better than black's. Now, slide the queen over because it looks like they're going to castle kingside. And what we want to do is to potentially bring these pieces, maybe the knight as well, bring all these pieces into a massive kingside attack. So they now short castles as well. A mistake, plus 1.2. Bring the bishop back. As I said, we're now got, so many pieces ready for the attack. They develop. I now bring my bishop here, pinning their knight. They try to move their queen out of the way. There's a battery, but I'm not worried about that because that's defended twice, so that's perfectly safe. I decide to now bring my knight into the attack as well. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces ready to attack black's king's position. Stockfish says that wasn't necessary. They thought the queen can go here directly. What I was thinking was, potentially captures, and then I've got a potential, mate in one attack. Stockfish, however, wasn't worried about that because they saw against this black can simply play g6. And potentially after that, there's not a black's defended position, basically. However, I don't think black so calculate that far ahead. I didn't calculate that far ahead. So they didn't really want that to happen. So they moved the bishop out of the way. Of course, one of the things there, I was also taking that bishop. And now queen to h4. My piece is moving into the attack. And more than that, consider this. That will come with check, but also allows for this double attack on h7. So this is a really, really, powerful attack. I'm about to torpedo, their position. Von Hennig, by the way, was a German U-boat naval officer. And that's why I had that sort of cat mini submarine theme for the thumbnail. All right. Here, they really didn't have that much of a good move. So you can see Stockfish suggests this. They moved that piece. Inaccuracy, so about +8 now, but it's about from +5 to +8. Here I am in a really winning position. I decide to play one more a slightly, conservative move. You can see Stockfish says just attack. I wanted to get rid of that knight so that it couldn't replace that knight after I took it because I needed that knight to stop guarding the h7 square. And here it worked. They took, and now check. That is now undefended. They capture, but now check. Queen forward. king forced into this position. Now here, the best move actually is rook captures the bishop, because if they take back in this direction, basically this is mate. It's unavoidable mate. In fact, I think in this position, we already have a mate in 12, mate in 11. That's how problematic black's position is. I didn't see that, however, so I decided to give a check first. King here. I now capture that pawn. Of course, that bishop is pinned to the king. They decide to defend that bishop. That's fine. Captures with check. Take with check. And black's in real trouble. They move here. That's a blunder. Apparently, it leads to a mate in 11, while the king goes here. You know, there's not exactly a mating line. Pretty hard to see, though. Here, I decide to bring an extra attacker onto the f7 pawn. Black basically freaks out here, though admittedly they've got no great moves. They needed to keep potentially that square to be an escape square. They opted to try to ask to trade queens. However, that blocks off the king's last escape square if I move my queen to that position to h8, queen h8, checkmate. Good game, GG. My big takeaway from this game is to try the von Hennig Gambit against a Caro-Kann Defense. It's a very good response and I think you'd like it. I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.